Alright guys, welcome to day 5, I think it is now. Still a little confused. The one that I was cutting pieces for yesterday. This is back 2 that we're getting started on. This is a big one. This is the most complicated out of all the ones we've done so far. And I got all the pieces cut already, so we're ready to roll. And just going to start assembling. Let's do it. Alright, so before I get started on back 2, the back 2 wall section, I have to give some consideration to how the bottom of that wall framing member is attaching to the trailer. So my trailer from STRYKER trailers has these pieces of welded threaded rod sticking up from the framing. And the purpose of these is to hold the framing down to the trailer. So I'm going to get a washer and a nut to thread down on top of this and hold the wall section on here. And it's got them all the way around the entire trailer. So if I build out this big wall section right now, back 2, which is like 21 change feet long, it's enormous. If I wanted it to be absolutely perfect, I would have to position the whole thing on top and mark where these threaded rods are, and then take the whole thing off, and that's not reasonable. I could measure in and mark on the sole plate after it's already built where these holes are drilled, but I'd rather be very exact at this and do it ahead of time like this. So I have to take my sole plates for back 2. This is the back portion one behind the header that goes over the fender there, and I need to position it on top of the threaded rods and then give it a whack with the hammer to indent where the holes need to be drilled for the threaded rods. Now, I have an indentation there. I have the same indentation down over here. So now I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to drill some, these are 1/2 inch, I believe. 1/2 inch threaded rod. Yeah. So I'm going to drill a 3/4 inch hole. And in this guy, to give myself that little bit of leeway in case, because I was just sighting it, so in case I need to shift it a little bit to get it exactly in the right spot. And I'm also going to mark, because since I need to build this into the wall right now, this is going to be the up side. So I'm going to say up, and I'm going to say up back. It's signifying that this faces up, and this is the back side of the board at the back of the trailer. So I need to make sure that when I frame the wall, I put this piece in that orientation, or else it's just not going to fit. The way I built this might not have been the best way, and I think I'm learning from this experience here. As you can see, this header, this is just a temporary brace, but this header does not fit. It's off by, I don't know, 1/4 inch. All the pieces are cut as they should be. I've triple checked everything as per the drawing, but you know, in the real world, when you're cutting these things, if you're off by like a 32nd here, or maybe like a skinny 16th there, it adds up over time. Also, when pieces are butting up against each other, they end up taking up a little bit more space because they're a little bit twisted. And I think that's what I have going on here. The situation is that I started framing this area right here, and then I have this long piece connecting all the way out to here, and then I started framing this side coming in this way. So I framed up to here and here, and then I tried to put the header in. And there's a couple problems that are happening right now. One, obviously the header is too long, as I just mentioned. But also, I'm not really happy with about how this whole area, this sole plate, and this sole plate are closing in on each other because they're not exactly in line with each other. It's not dead straight. This one, if that one is straight, this one is at a slight angle. I don't think you're going to be able to see it on the camera, especially because I screwed this brace down to it and kind of pulled it in a little bit. So this whole thing is not really perfect, and I think I'm just going to have to accept that and not even worry about squaring it up. And when I put it on the trailer, I'm just going to have to bang in its submission, just make it fit. Every other piece around it is going to be square because they're smaller. I've been able to brace them square properly. So if I were to do this again, which I am going to on the other side, I'd probably start framing like right here and right here, put the header in first, and then work my way out. That's probably the best way. You live and you learn. Take it from me. Okay, so I'm going to cut that. I'm going to first measure this, yeah? It's a 1/4 inch, so I'm going to cut a 1/4 inch off this header.